show you how I make these absolutely fantastic garlic green beans in under 20 minutes with just a few ingredients. So of course, I'm starting with green beans. I'm starting with the bag kind because they look the best in my store. A head of garlic, avocado oil is chosen food brand, and seasonings. If you don't want to use seasonings, don't use seasonings. I'm using onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and salt. So these green beans are in a 12-ounce bag, and they are the fancy snipped kind, supposed to be snipped and washed, but I'm going to put them in a bowl and wash them again myself just because I want to use some extra time to wash it just to make sure it's up to my standards. But also, this lets me inspect each green bean and see if there's any piece that I need to cut or discard. So usually I use white vinegar, but this time I'm using baking soda. And look at this. The first piece I pick up, I see it's pieces on the end that I don't want to eat. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to snip them off. I'm using kitchen shears. You could pop them off by hand if you wanted to, which is traditional, or you could use scissors, or you could use a knife is what I meant to say. I'm using scissors just because I had them handy. I'm using a clean kitchen towel to dry them off carefully. I'm trying to get away from using paper towels, y'all, but it's hard. But I'm trying to reduce the amount of trash I create, so this reusable towel is what I have. I have this beautiful head of garlic. I read you should get garlic with roots on it to ensure it hasn't been bleached or dipped in chlorine. But who knows now with our American food supply what is what in the grocery store. I don't know. Just do the best you can. The best thing is to grow fruits and vegetables at home if you can, or buy from a local farmer. But I just picked 5 or 6 big cloves of garlic. If you don't like garlic, you don't have to use it, or you can use a smaller amount. To me, 5 cloves was reasonable. It wasn't overpowering, and I'm in fact going to use garlic powder because I just like the flavor. So this is garlic green beans after all. So I am peeling the skin off, and you'll notice I dice it up kind of into a medium size dice. I don't want to smash it because I don't want to release too much moisture. So while my green beans and garlic are sitting on the cutting board, I am heating up my cast iron wok. I love this wok. I added a couple of tablespoons of avocado oil. You could use canola oil or any neutral flavored oil you want, that as long as it has a high smoke point, because we will be sauteing these for several minutes. So I put my cleaned and dried green beans in once my wok was hot. And you don't want it smoking hot though. I have the heat level on 6 out of a range from 1 to 10, so kind of a medium high heat. I will turn it up and down as I need to going forward. I'm going to let these cook for a good 5 or 6 minutes at this heat while I stir it before I add any of my dry seasonings because I don't want the dry seasonings to burn. Now I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper and 1/4 teaspoon of salt because I can always add more later. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of onion powder because I like the flavor of this, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of garlic powder as well. And when we get to the end of the cooking process, we're going to taste it to see if we decide that we need to add any more seasonings. The seasonings will bloom and become very aromatic. If you notice that you have a dry spot in your pan, then you can add more oil as I just did. And I'm cooking mine to the point that I see a char on some of the green beans. And these are the green beans that are at the very bottom of my wok. I am adding my garlic towards the very end of cooking. So by now, these green beans have been cooking for a total of about 12 to 13 minutes on medium-high heat. I'm keeping my garlic in one spot, and I'm adding more oil to it and moving it around just in that one spot so I can keep an eye on it. I don't want it to get to the bottom and get burnt. I want my garlic clove pieces to be golden brown, delicious on the outside, but soft and flavorful on the inside, if that makes sense to you. I tasted some of my green beans, as I like to do, and I decided I wanted a little bit more garlic flavor, so I just added a couple of sprinkles of garlic powder. And look at how beautiful this fresh garlic looks. So I decided to turn off the heat on my stove. You'll notice it's still hot, and I'm just moving around the garlic pieces all throughout. And it's going to use that residual heat to cook just a little bit more. You'll notice they're golden brown but not burnt. Even when I took all the green beans out and I'm taking out the smallest bits of the garlic, they're not burnt. They're just golden perfectly through. So I'm using a silicone spatula that is good to use with heat. And I'm sprinkling off the last bits of garlic. And look at these green beans, y'all. This is a perfect side dish with any steak. Or if you happen to be vegan vegetarian, you can use it in one of your meals as well. My next video, I'll show you how I make this delicious New York strip steak. Thank you for watching.